Greetings, tube dwellers. Welcome back to the heart of the swarm. Once again, we'll be visiting the one-on-one ladder. And we'll be facing another Zerg. It looks like he hasn't played a whole lot this season, but he is level 30 Zerg, so since Heart came out, he's played at least as much as I've played. I just recently hit level 30 with Zerg myself. While that doesn't necessarily mean that he's for sure played a lot, I would say that means we've played about evenly, at least here in Heart of the Swarm, but that doesn't necessarily matter all that much. Another Zerg versus Zerg. That is probably the most pertinent point, and on Whirlwind LE, a nearly equally important point. Looks like we'll begin with Zumi, the Red Zerg, spawning in the bottom left of Whirlwind LE. And his opponent, your host, spawning in the bottom right, the Mad Bag, also playing Zerg, as I do on them 1 versus 1 ladders. So we've had a couple ZVZs lately. Why not stick with that and whip out another one? Offload scouts are going out. Looks like both of us prefer to scout to the main, whose natural is out towards us, so that we can see any kind of a 15 hatch shenanigan. I think even at this overlord speed, if you were to 14 pool 15 hatch, you would see that going down. Well, I guess we'll see here in a second, but I think right about the time that the 15 hatch would be going down. So if you do get the scout right, it can give you a lot of very juicy information. It appears that I am getting the scout wrong, as happenstance may be. My ally's getting it right. We've both gone up to 14. Nothing cheesy's popped out so far. So I have to assume that we're looking at an at least somewhat macro build, and I've gone up to 15. Here a drone goes out to the expansion. It looks like Zumi plans to stop off at 14. Oh, but look, he even had the 50 minerals. And more importantly, he had, well, I guess he only had 2. I thought that if you cut off at 14, you'd have larva build up. Oh, and he's going even further, from a 14 hatch to a 12 pool, all the way down to an 11 gas. He's not fitting a drone in between any of these. That means he's getting them very quickly. I, on the other hand, I've fit a drone between, I think, each one of them. You see the gas going down before the spawning pool, but the spawning pool's on its way now as well. And here's that scout I was talking about. He sees very easily that my hatchery is down, and he can compare that to the life on his own hatchery to see that we've done a very similar build. He's a couple seconds ahead of me. He probably doesn't know that, though, just by looking at those life points on their hatcheries. He knows that we have something similar going on in the bases. So this gas is going to be quite a bit earlier than mine. We can see he's coming up on 50 mined. And actually, I guess looking up here, no. The gas ended up going down about the same time, because he went hatchery, no drones, pool, no drones, gas. I went hatchery, 1 drone, gas, 1 drone, pool. So the gas actually ended up coming down at a similar time. His spawning pool just finished a little earlier than mine, and we can see that in the amount complete of queen production. He's reaching halfway. Mine is still in the very beginning. So our speed is nearly identical. It looks like I've got a couple second advantage on him, 3 or 4 seconds. That's probably not going to be big. In fact, I can barely think of any situations where that would even have an impact, let alone be a large impact. I've pulled 1 drone off, sticking with just a couple. He's pulled 2 drones off, sticking with just 1. So he's going to get a spine crawler down first. It looks like he doesn't mind having a slightly later baneling nest. On the other hand, I'm going to whip the baneling nest right out, and there it is. It looks like I've left space there for a spine crawler, if I so choose that one is necessary later. I got a couple Zerglings out. He too has a couple Zerglings. His are sitting at his front. Mine are going to attempt to run in the main here and scout around. They're taking some slightly different paths. You can see I select the spine crawler to understand exactly what it is he's building up there. I see it is a defensive structure, and now I get to see everything else. Nothing real surprising. I see, as of yet, a lack of a baneling nest. That's some good information. If you see that your opponent's trying to skip banelings, there are a lot of Zergs who like going straight to roaches. ZVZ almost ends up including roaches. And if you can skip banelings and safely get to roaches, then you can get there more efficiently than your opponent. The problem is that it's very difficult to just skip banelings and have things still work out right. If I saw this, and if my head is in the right place, I can only assume that some Zerglings should be coming out with some aggressive intent. Now, he does have the baneling nest coming up now, so it looks like the timing difference of that may be inconsequential. We'll keep an eye on it, though. This is a decent number of Zerglings. This is more than he has fielded. However, production is popping off. And he is rising count. Oh, man, he's getting 2 more spine crawlers. I'm going to run right past the queens into the main, though. Can I get any damage done? I did kill 1 worker. Do I hear a second? Can I get a second? Oh, there was a low one. I don't think I got a second worker. Somehow in the mix-up, though, I have taken a bit of a lead on drones, and I'm building even more drones. So now it's 29 to 35 with more coming out for me. If things hold, and if I'm able to stimmy this aggression, it's getting ready to head my way, then I'm going to walk out of this with about a 10 drone lead. I am just now getting the spine crawler, and you see I'm going straight for the roach warren thinking, well, if he's going to try to skip banelings, and I actually saw there that he's not totally, then I'm going to try to jump to roaches quickly, but oof, he's catching me at a real weird timing here. He's got a lot more Zerglings than I do. The production shows that some salvation is on the way, but he's got plenty of Zerglings in the mix right now. That's going to go to work on my drone count. I am still in the lead by a few, but not by a great amount. They're trying to transfer, and they're taking damage the whole time. Oh, God. We have now equaled up on the drone count, and I believe with production popping, we're going to be about equal on the Zergling count. Last couple Zerglings get picked off. I go ahead and transfer out. Oh, or so I think. Some Zerglings got out of sight. Oh, my God, the banelings! They're going off in my mineral line. Oh, Christ. I'm at a 10 worker deficit. Oh, 2 more. God, he's so perfect. Oh, 15 worker deficit. Oh, the army count swings into my favor, sure, but the deficit in workers is gigantic. He's got 3 spine crawlers up. That makes his defense even easier to reach. Surely he's attempting to produce the army to make up for this. It actually looks like he's not. But it also looks like I'm going to be a little bit silly with my targeting here. No, I'm not going to go for the spine crawlers. That's good. I like to see that that's not going to happen. He gets his queen in a beautiful spot. I'm going to run a couple lings around, but I'm still able to do plenty of damage here. His queen is not in that good of a spot. His Zerglings are in the terrible shape. Just the count, it's so low. I'm killing some drones here, but oh, the deficit is still present and still painful. Not sure how this is going to turn out. Some of my Zerglings were hurt. We were near on count, and sure enough, he's going to save the queen. He's going to take the lead in drones once again. I am starting to get roaches out, but oh my God, the worker deficit. The worker deficit is huge. I'm more than 10 drones down. It looks like I got my 3rd up early. It's finished. His 3rd's just building. I'm bringing roaches in. I'm not sure how much of a good idea this is, and it looks like I lost track of them even. Really terrible. My wall is finished with roaches, though, so at least my main and natural are safe for the time being, and you can tell that I think that as I'm trying to drone up. My 3rd, though, incredibly exposed. He definitely has an army advantage on me right now. We see the numbers are kind of close, but his army is much more mobile. He could ring around the rosy, my roaches, and still take this 3rd out, and it looks like he's not going to miss his opportunity either. He's going to bring the lings to the front. He doesn't know about the 3rd yet, but it's not going to take much movement for him to figure it out, and there it is. There are even drones here. I'm going to lose more drones. I've been able to equal the drone count up, but it's been by not building any combat units, and that hurts me in other places. And now not only do I lose a couple drones, but the 3rd's going to go down while he is able to maintain. I did take a queen out there, so his production hurt a little bit, but he's got the queens back up. He's getting his drone counts back up, and now he's going to be whipping out roaches of his own. So he's going to catch up on the technology front and likely be able to maintain his significant lead on the drone front. Now we see that I have another lead, though, in the upgrades. And it looks like he has a desire to catch up there. I have 2-2 on the way. He has 1-1 on the way. I also have Hydra speed and Roach speed on the way. And I don't believe, it looks like his lair is finished. He hasn't quite started the upgrades yet, though. He's got the money to do so. He's going to try to take another stab at my front. This time I'm going to be a little bit too well defended. He can't really get in there with Zerglings. He could have tried to attack something down here to get me to move my roaches, and then ran into the main once I did. But if I was on my P's and Q's, I would have moved just a couple roaches and would have moved them down to like here or here. Kept them along this wall and kept from being too dangerous. He knows he has a clear advantage, though, and he's looking to keep it. These Zerglings allow him to be all up in my face, all over the place. They allow him to keep my third down while his prospers. Looks like he's going to choose to saturate the gas on that third. Try to take an advantage through technology. He is a little bit behind on the upgrades. As a matter of fact, his 1-1 is finished. So right now we're actually even on upgrades, but I am a lot further along on finishing 2-2. And if that can finish before this attack, it looks like it's actually a ways out. It's a solid 50 seconds out still. Oh, and his army count is way larger than mine. The result of him having more workers in the early game. As we travel into the mid game, I am in trouble. This is a dire situation indeed. Luckily that Hydralisk speed did finish. I've got range coming. That allows my Hydralisks to, well, I guess Hydralisk, singular, not plural form. Allows him to make it out of there, and maybe even kill an Overseer. He's got a fourth coming up now. My God, that seems a little greedy. I mean, he's got the money, so I guess there's no reason not to, but he has to defend a quite wider front now. And even though I have a smaller army, it looks like this is going to open a window up for me. I got to be careful. His army is not far away, and it looks like I did just now step into the upgrade advantage. So it's now 1-1 on 2-2, but the army advantage is... well, with my reinforcements, I'm actually pulling the army advantage even. He's got a huge drone lead on me right now. A solid 30 drones. That's a ridiculous amount. But with his bank, it looks like a large degree of his income advantage. Oh my! Counterattack! His income advantage is going to his bank. It's not necessarily going to an army that's fielded. And I'm going to counterattack here. It doesn't look like I'll get a lot done. Killing a queen is nice. However, I didn't take out that spine. I did get him to reposition his army, and that's going to let me step in and take out this fourth. That's why I was saying it's a little bit greedy. It's just, it's really the real estate, more so than the expenditure of 300 minerals on the hatchery. It's attempting to hold this map location and this map location. If you look down on the mini-map, that's like a real estate area of this, as opposed to a real estate area of this, just taking the third. Oh, and there's a engagement going on in the middle. It looks like I've got a nice concave. He still doesn't quite have 2-2 either. So an upgrade advantage is going to let me come in here and take some cost-efficient trades. Overall, you see that I'm behind on the units lost, and as he gets the concave, I know that would swing way in his favor, so I'm going to back out of that. It is absurd to see these food counts. He's so far ahead of me. He's got so many roaches. Let's see what this count is. It's my 25 and a measly 4 or 5 hydras. To his 50 roaches, he has twice the roaches. He has 2 roaches for each one of mine. My third is just now up. There are no drones on it. My saturation is looking good for 2 base. It's not anywhere near a 3 base saturation. Oh, and another engagement is going to occur. That concave started out favoring me a little bit, but with his reinforcements coming from my backside, oh, that's not favorable. He's taking it out quick. The upgrade advantage let me kind of hang in there, but the numbers advantage let him remain on the top of the units lost. Remain cost efficient in the engagement. Oh my, not the right direction, guys. You might have been able to snipe that. Now, no such thing will happen. I'm glad no reinforcements from him are out there. Oh my, Hydra count. Looks like I've popped off a lot of production in Hydras. I have a larger Hydra number than him. I have 0 roaches, though, and if you've ever witnessed a Roach-Hydra battle, where the roaches are lesser on one side of the battle, you'll already know that's going to favor him very heavily, even if he just had a few roaches more than me, let alone 30 roaches more. The Hydra counts are actually really close, too, so it's not like I'm taking some advantage in the Hydra count. We're equal there, and he has a huge roach advantage. Oh, there's no way I can defend the third. Drones transferring even. These aren't drones that I had built. I mean, I've built a couple, but for the most part, those are drones that I transferred from my main. So as my third dies, and it looks like he has a mine to hit and run, I was going to say I'm going to lose a lot of drones with that, but that looks like it's not going to be the case. My God, the spine crawler placement. It's beautiful. It took me way too long to get the jump around there. Now, I do have +1 melee as well, so these lings are doing good damage, and actually, they just barely got to the spine crawlers, so I'm going to get to equalize the drone count a little bit here. The fact remains, though, that not only does he have a 3rd up, he has a 4th up and can mine from either. He retains a drone advantage as well, so that's nothing but good news for him and bad news for me. Once again, the 3rd is sniped. I do get to cancel it that time, and he's not picking off a lot of drones. Oh, and him being out of position lets me get in here to his 4th. This could be pretty. That's keeping him on 3 base, though, whereas he's keeping me on 2. Not good. It looks like the numbers are in my advantage here by just enough that I'm going to clean this up as well. Huh. That is quite nice. That levels us out on units lost, and for the first time, I take a little bit of a lead. His army's closing in, though. It looks like I mean to take out his 3rd. This is going to take him down to 2 base. If this can happen, oh, and then if I can retreat, oh my, I'm going to take losses retreating, but I still get a decent little pack of units out of there. Those Hydras, man, they can book it with that upgrade. That takes his 3rd out. He's down to 2 base. This is kind of interesting. All of a sudden, our income is very similar. However, he carries a huge food advantage, and oh god, no longer do I have an upgrade advantage. Not only are we equal there, but he has stepped into the lead. In the meantime, in addition to the huge army that his income has allowed him, he has gone up to the high of tech, and he has started 3-3, ranged and carapace, and now he has a concave against me. I'm going to try to micro against this a little bit. It looks like I'm actually going to get some reinforcements to the bottom of this that allow me to invert at least that side of the concave. Oh, but it's nasty. He's taking it. He's taking it hard. He's got a lot of Hydras here. Again, I'm trying to establish the 3rd. Again, it will be denied. With some drones. Not all the drones. Never taken out all of them. I did get the cancel off. That's hugely critical. Every little inkling of resources is going to become enormous. He's getting his 3rd, and once again 4th up, though, and I have no means to deny. Actually, you know, I say that, and then I see my forces moving out aggressively again. This is kind of crazy. It looks like he stepped over here expecting for me to have a 4th, wondering how the hell I'm still in this without one. And he was surprised to see that I don't have a 4th. Oh, man. I was hoping those were going to be a couple ships passing in the foggy night, but not so. And now it looks like I've got some harassment going here and there, trying to catch bits of him off guard, but it's not really working out for me. No, and he's got a surround coming from both sides here. He's going to take that out handedly. The drone counts have kind of leveled out. He's still got an advantage on me, and in ZVZ, every little bit of an advantage is a big advantage. Not to mention 10 drones, which is this advantage. But we're closer. We're closer than 46 to 75 drones. That's a plus side, right? Right? No, not really. Oh, I'm able to start +3, but it's so late. It's so late that his 3-3 is almost finished, and I'm getting a Viper as well. Well, that's some nice thought. I've got a lot of gas, I guess, you know. Do whatever I can. Oh, not good. What is this? Oh, my rally. Looks like my rally was being microed with my main army. Which is poised to take out his 4th yet again. If I can actually get this 3rd up, then we will again be on an equal number of mining bases at least. He continues to carry this ridiculous food advantage. It looks like I'm not going to go for the 3rd. Probably smart. He was right on my heels there. I don't quite have the movement speed to make that work. And actually, it looks like I'm going to be a little tricky and go for the 3rd after the fact. He's slightly less on my heels now. It looks like he's tired of the shenanigans. He's going to come straight for me. If he snipes off this 3rd again, it's going to keep me in such sad shape. I'm going to be able to snipe off his 3rd. One hell of a back and forth game. I've just been able to maneuver around his forces the entire way through. I'm going to hit that 3rd and get out. Oh, right as he's showing up at my front, and rallies are caught. Oh, it's terrible. It's going to make sure that he stays in the lead on this units lost count. And yeah, he is finally tired of the shenanigans. He's going to march right in and do the killing blow. He sniped out my +3 as one of the first things. It was nowhere near completing. Sweet that I got some drones out. It looks like my force is poised to potentially make this a base race. Even if I can't base race, and there are a decent number of spines up there with rallies, and with his upgrade advantage, it's going to be a nasty thing to step into. If I can just hold him off mining, though, while maintaining some of my own mining, then I might be able to make some kind of a game here. He's incredibly Hydralisk heavy, too. I mean, he's got some roaches to tank. He's got enough to make a thin line in front of the Hydras. But the Hydra count, you know, if I could have saved my Baneling nest, that would have potentially been very awesome. I've got just enough Zerglings. I could make a kind of nasty number of Banelings. Banelings are really good against Hydras. Hydras are technically light, so Banelings get their bonus damage. It's an incredibly good counter, especially if you can maneuver the Banelings well and not have them have to run past or get crushed by roaches. Looks like I'm taking a Ninja Expand. What an interesting spot to put it. If you were to take a look at his vision, there's a lot of bases on the map that I could take. That is the closest one to him that he doesn't have receding creep at or a building. That's where I'm going to choose to put mine. It's kind of an interesting choice. Oh, more drones getting caught. The food count. Halfsies. This base, I don't know how many times it's been sniped now. I should have a base counter up here. I think it would say 5 or 6. It looks like I'm going in full-on base race mode. I've got drones going to far corners of the map. I've got some waiting here at this ninja to harvest. I've got some waiting up here just in case this gets found out and hit. And I'm holding him off of a third and a fourth. But I'm not sure how much good that's going to do. He is out of money, but this army count, he's got such an advantage. It's still double. He's got the upgrade advantage even, so what's on the field is more cost effective. Let's see how long it takes him, though. He's got a ninja to find. He scouted out a lot of bases fast. He's got a Zergling up here. It looks like it did find both of those drones that I sent. And it looks like somewhere in the mix he found time to get the +1 melee as well. I should really be... Oh, there's a spawning pool. The spawning pool is required before a Baneling nest. He's trying to find it. The last bastion of Mad Bag Hope. Oh, and he found a bunch of drones. That should convince him that I'm up in that top right corner. Oh, but it looks like a command he gave is going to find me out. I'm going to catch some forces unhindered. But now the hindrance of awareness is going to hold me down. It's going to pin me in. And we're going to see a gigantic army face up against a minute one. Oh, spine crawlers coming out, but they are too late. It looks like, oh, I know it. I got a Baneling nest coming. I know I could turn my lings into a bit of critical effect, but Jesus, the army is too damn big. And he takes it. That Zoomy, tearing the Mad Bag a new one. The ninja tricks were just not enough. There was a lot of back and forth stuff in this. Totals don't really mean so much. Let's just look at the graphs. Workers active. Jesus H. Look at this income advantage. And that translates right in the same time to a huge army advantage. I took some really cost-efficient engagements, and my ninja moves, I was roundhouse kicking him in the back of the neck repeatedly. Of course, he was doing something similar to my third repeatedly, so... There you have it. Another ZVZ, another loss, but oh well, it was a good game, so why not? And there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay tuned for more.